Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, but I have two amazing, awesome Run Disney friends with me tonight. And I have Dave. Dave, say hello to everyone.
Hello to everyone.
Good job. That was awesome. And I have half of Allie and Rick. Allie,
hi, everyone.
So we've got Allie right now. Rick will be joining us in a little bit. And tonight we're going to talk about our Run Disney Marathon weekend. Not the whole thing, because we could be here for quite a while to talk about all the hoot and hammy that we had during that time. So we're just going to talk about the first couple of days, getting down there at the expo and the 5K and 10K. Any highlights that we had, anything that maybe we wish ran a little differently. No pun intended with the run. But as a reminder, if you like what you hear, please go out to your podcaster of choice and please give us a nice rating. I mean, I've got two awesome guests tonight. How could you not give us a nice rating? And we're going to be talking about Run Disney, which everybody loves. Even if you don't love Run Disney, don't skip this episode. We're going to be talking about some really cool things too, like how we had a full carload of people on an entire ride, a full entire train. So you don't want to miss all this stuff. It's pretty cool. All right. So Dave, you flew down to Disney World. I'm so happy for you. On what?
Boy, are my arms tired. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Oh, I probably should have saved that.
You probably. All right. So what day did you arrive in the greater Orlando area?
I think it was Tuesday the 6th. We got down there in the afternoon, and everything was great. Smooth flight. Everything was on time. Got on a Mirror shuttle and headed over to All-Star.
And you were there with your entire family this time.
Correct.
And you stayed in one of the All-Star suites, which I've always been curious about. How'd you like it?
Yeah, it was great. Three of us ran the first two races, and then my daughter and I ran the half and the full, and it really, really helped having two bedrooms.
And two bathrooms, right?
And two bathrooms, yeah, even more importantly, two bathrooms for sure. Made things a lot quicker in the morning. It was really nice to have that. And a fridge, too. A fridge, you could put all your stuff in there. And we had some stuff. Caleb was nice enough to get some stuff for us, and we were able to put that in the fridge, water and some food and stuff. So that was real nice to have.
Tell me about your experience with mirrors. That was not so fabulous, right?
Well, coming from the airport, it wasn't great. We waited quite a while at the airport to get on the shuttle. Probably longer than we should have waited. There was a pretty big line. But going back was smooth, real easy.
Okay. Well, that's good. So they redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
All right. So, Allie.
I would use mirrors again. I would.
Oh, you would? Because you had said on Tuesday, I think you said, I don't think I'm ever going to use them again. So
no, I thought about it. I would definitely use them again. If the delay is on the arrival date, it's not so bad, right? If there's a delay on the going back day, then that could be a problem with your flight, getting there on time, getting checked in and all that. But it was just, hey, I'm here in Orlando and I want to get over to Disney right now. So that was it. I was just anxious, ready to get into everything.
Yep. All right, Allie, what time did you guys arrive? What day did you arrive?
We also arrived on Tuesday, and we landed, I believe, around like 11:30 in the morning. So we kind of had an early start to our day.
And you were so kind and you did some grocery shopping for me. So thank you.
We did. You're welcome.
My crazy order of bottled water, organic blueberries, and champagne.
Yes.
Because that's what everybody needs on a race weekend is those three items. I actually pack like oatmeal and other things with us, but those three items, fresh items are hard to get. So thank you for picking up groceries for me. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right. So did you guys go to the parks on Tuesday at all?
We did. Where did we go?
Well, you finished at Epcot. That much I know.
We did finish at Epcot. So we were greeted at Pop by the characters. So when we pulled into our resort, Chip, Dale, and Daisy were walking around. So Oliver got to have a little interaction that way. What did we do that first?
That's very cool. That's like the old time Disney, right? Where it's not a meet and greet. They just happen to be there. That's kind of cool.
I heard they're bringing back the Cool Kids of Summer for 2026 summer. So the characters should be around the resort still like they were last summer. So But that's great.
I think we just went to Epcot because I don't have any other pictures from anywhere else. So I think we just did Epcot that day.
Thank goodness for referring back to pictures. That helped me refer to what we did.
It's like, what did we do on that day? All the days blend together at this point.
I know. Dave, what did you guys do that day? So you arrive. Was your room ready when you got there?
Yeah. We got it. We checked in, and then we went over to Springs.
Oh, nice. So did you guys just shop that day?
No, we went for dinner. Polite Pig.
So you had dinner at Polite Pig Tuesday night. I forgot about this. You were there Tuesday night. We were there Wednesday night. So you were at the Springs that night. Allie, you guys were at Epcot. We arrived. We landed about 5:00 that night. It took a while to get a lift that night for whatever reason. It was pretty crowded, and then we went straight to Coronado. Our room was ready because it was later. Checked in. We had a first floor room, which was really nice, back in the Casitas area, which I like a lot because you're right by the bus stop, and even though this is weird. It's bus stop 2, but you're the first bus stop to be dropped off and the first to be picked up. Doesn't make any sense at all.
We were on the 4th floor, and that was rough.
Oh yeah, that was rough. But you were in the 90s building, right?
Yes, we were in the 90s building. We didn't realize how close we were to the bus stop originally because we had walked all the way through the resort. And then we're like, oh, wait a minute. If we turn right, we're literally right at the bus stop.
Yeah.
So Rick had to send a nice little apology to our favorite Jodie because he was like, we have to walk all this way. And then it was like, just kidding. We're actually right here.
Yeah. 90s is the best. 90s is where you want to be for marathon weekend. Yeah.
But we did learn that 2 rooms is definitely tough. So I think we want to look more into like either the suites or like a 1-bedroom because we're just outgrowing with all of Baby O's stuff and the stroller and having the adjoining room and the pack and play. The rooms are just getting too tiny. So
yeah, you guys can duke it out for who gets the suite at All Stars Music next year.
Yeah.
The suites at Animal Kingdom, or not Animal Kingdom Lodge, at Art of Animation are pretty awesome too, but they're always so expensive.
They're very expensive, but they are very nice. We've had friends stay in cars and we got to like check it out, and they are very nice, very huge. But we're definitely going to look into some options for that and just see if we can get just a bigger space now that we have to bring a babysitter with.
Yeah. All right. So Tuesday night, we met up with our friend Cheryl at GO82 and had some drinks and some food there. We got really lucky because we did not book the fireworks package, like where you get the champagne and you sit right up on the window. But we got to watch the fireworks from GO82. So that was really, really cool. That was a nice surprise. So that was awesome. I will give you a warning for GO82. My feedback. I thought we were there twice. I thought our server was fine, not anything, I was looking for Patrick Markbat. He was not there either day that we were there. But it was very expensive. Our bill at GO82 was almost as much as like a nice dinner out at, Toledo or something. It was very pricey for what we got. Tim had 2 glasses of wine and I had 2 drinks, and I think we had 2 appetizers, and it was quite pricey. So just a little warning, if anyone's looking at GO82, it's not going to be a cheap evening. But I did really like the atmosphere. Unfortunately, we had 2 tables, like our table, Lonnie and Caitlin and Cheryl and Tim and I were at a table, and then everybody else was at a different table completely on the other side of the room. So it's not like we could even chat with them. So that was kind of a bummer. But so Allie, I know you got to go up into that space later that week. What did you think about it?
I thought it would be more impressive. Like, it was definitely neat, but I don't think I'd ever have to go up again.
Yeah. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, we didn't go to GO82 because
I thought you went up at least.
No, because Allison, my daughter, is not 21, so she couldn't get in. So we just kind of scratched it from our agenda.
Yeah.
That's like the downside too, because like Rick and I can't go together unless we have somebody, because like I get having like an adult space, but it's also like it's supposed to be a friendly, like a family park. So it kind of like Beacon Barrel, you can have small children in, whatever, but so it's kind of just, it limits our availability to go like together, which was another like turn off too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so that was the rapid art. Anybody else do anything exciting on Tuesday night? I got to meet Baby O finally Tuesday night. That was like long-waited excitement. That was like the highlight of my evening.
Dave, we were hoping we saw you first because then you would have been the last one that had to see him before Jodie, just to get all the selfies ahead of time. But
it was torture. Everybody else got to see it. Yeah. So I was very happy. Very, very happy. Anybody else do anything awesome on Tuesday before?
I think so.
Okay. So Wednesday morning, I mean, smart people would sleep in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is one of the days that you can sleep in. And then you have our group. We're not necessarily smart people. So what did we do Wednesday morning, Dave?
We got up bright and early. Not quite as early as the following 4 days, but pretty early.
And where did we head to?
We headed over to Animal Kingdom.
Right.
To rope drop Flight of Passage.
And we were there by 7 I think I was on the bus at 6:40 a.m. So we were there by 7 to rope drop Animal Kingdom. Because why not? It's race weekend. Let's just go get everything started early.
And Rick and I said, he's sleeping, we're staying right here, and we slept in.
Yeah, you were smart. You were smart. Like that was a really smart thing to do. But I will say we crushed Animal Kingdom that morning. So gosh, how many of us were there, Dave? Like 12, 14? I don't know. There was a herd of ducks. A gaggle of ducks. What is a thing of
Flock.
ducks? Flock. Yeah, I guess we're flock. I'm really tired. Can you tell? So we all rope dropped Animal Kingdom Wednesday morning before the expo. And we made our way directly over to Flight of Passage, went right through the line pretty quick. I mean, I think we were on the ride before the park even opened, right?
Close, pretty close, probably.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
It was a big line heading back into that area, though, but it moved pretty quick.
Yeah, that line is always huge. Caitlin and I really lucked out because last year we got in that line, we were halfway through that line, and then the ride broke down.
Ugh.
And it was disastrous. It opened, first of all, it didn't open in time, and then we got in line anyway, the ride broke down. And then I was like, listen, this was last year, 2025. I was like, it's your first dopey. You got to go to the expo. You got to go shopping. You got to see all the stuff. Like, get out of here. So she got out of line last year. So this whole time we were like, are we going to make it? Are we going to make it on the ride? So we're pretty excited. We got on the ride, rode it without a problem. So that was our first one. Then we all left there and we went straight to Lindsay's favorite coffee shop in Animal Kingdom. Dave, have you ever been there before?
Is it called Lindsay's favorite coffee shop?
That's what it's called.
Is that what it's called? No, I haven't been there.
Yes, Lindsay's favorite coffee shop. It's backed by the Safari. And we all had not all of us, but a lot of us had the coconut coffee that she loves. And there were the loaded tot, the scrambled eggs on top, and then the sandwich. I think so. We all finally had some breakfast. Did your family do anything different? Did you guys all eat there too?
No, we weren't there.
Oh, you didn't have breakfast with us?
No, unless I was spaced out for it.
You were with us, Dave.
What?
That little tiny coffee shop right by the.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Oh, there.
Coffee.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't get a lot of sleep, I guess.
You were there. I promise.
I do remember it now. I do remember it.
I completely remember you guys being there.
Yeah.
Well, clearly it was a memorable meal for Dave. He really loved it.
I didn't eat anything there.
Then, after you have breakfast, what do? You go to Everest. And that's where Dave and Tim and I had to take a picture and send it to our friends Anthony and John, because back in 2023, the first marathon that we all ran together, we rode Everest. So we had to send a little picture to them and tell them that we missed them. We did. We missed you guys. And then we rode Everest, which was awesome. And what did we do after that, Dave?
Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. We had to go ride Lonnie's dinosaur. Yeah. One last ride on dinosaur. And nobody lost anything.
Explain the picture and the shoes.
Okay. So tell us what you saw, Allie.
I saw them because I'm linked with everybody on the photo pass. So I looked and we're like, why are they holding their shoes like a phone? And that's all we got.
I don't know. So Caitlin and Sarah and Lonnie and I were in the front row, and Caitlin's like, "Hey, take your shoe off and put it up to your face like a phone." And Sarah and I were like, "Okay," and we did. Because that seems like a really brilliant thing to do. Touch a dirty shoe that you've been walking marks all day with. So yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, we were laying in bed getting ready to like click through everything, and we're like, "What is this?"
I don't know. I don't know. But you had to ask Caitlin what that was. I just followed the directions and did what I was told. After that, we left. Oh, then we took an Uber over to, or Lyft actually, over to the expo. And that was a hot mess. Like the traffic from Animal Kingdom Park over to ESPN Wide World of Sports was absolutely insane. What should have been 5 minutes took like 25 to 30, maybe, Dave?
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
We had two lifts full of people. It was forever. Traffic was super backed up, and it was insane. Allie, when did you guys get to the expo, and how did you get there?
We took the bus from Pop over, and then we got over there, and the bus wasn't there right away, but we actually didn't have a difficult time getting in. But when we got there was just a herd of people, and we thought they were waiting for the next group. And then we asked them, and they're like, "Oh, we're waiting for this group." And we're like, "So we already got called." So then we kind of like wiggled through because like it was just blocked. But then we were able to kind of walk right in.
Yeah. You know, every year I say I'm going to go to the expo late in the afternoon. Every single year I say this. And then every single year I get caught up in the hoopla of getting there early to look at merchandise, which is funny because every year I don't buy any merchandise. I bought it in. So I'm like, why am I so crazy about getting here early? I don't know. Well, that's not. I also bought shoes. Okay, let's talk about the shoes.
Love the shoes.
Okay, Allie, tell me about your shoes. Like tell everybody about the experience of doing the shoes. So if someone has not done this before.
Yeah, so I thought our first experience with the shoes, well, I did the springtime ones when they got released online, when they had the extras. So I did that. That was super easy. And then we actually went down for Wine and Dine and went to the expo and got them for a friend of ours. And I thought it was super easy. So you walk in, they have an area where you can try on shoes. They had a full set. Rick ended up doing that to kind of test out the adrenalines because he hasn't worn them for a couple of years. So if you're not sure the style of shoe or how they fit, they do have a really nice area that way where you can walk around. They have an area where people were running, kind of where the line would be. So you kind of test that out a little bit. And they give you a nice sheet of paper and you could put your size, what shoe you want, how many you want, and then you get in the line, you pay for it, and you walk out with your bag. I think it's really easy. They have the shoes on display so you can see what they look like. But we each got a pair, just one pair this trip. Dave,
did you try any shoes on?
I just bought the Ghosts without trying them on. I know my size, so I wear Ghosts. So
that's same for me. I didn't try anything on. I'm like, it's the Ghost Max.
So I tried them on because I have a wide width foot, but I didn't like the style in the women's wide. They were the Chippendale, and I didn't really care for those. So I ended up getting a men's shoe because their shoes are naturally wider than women. So the guy was great. He worked with me quite a bit to trying different things on and seeing what would fit best for my foot. I did think the process was really nice. Like when you normally walk in that crazy line to get into the expo, the shoe trying on area was to the right, and they had all the shoes you wanted to try on. He was really patient with me, like got a bunch of different sizes. They had runners getting the sizes and bringing them back. I thought it was very efficient. And then you had your little card. And then once you got into the main expo area where all the main shopping was, is where you would go purchase your shoes. So Tim ended up getting 2 pairs of shoes. I think almost all of us got shoes this weekend. I mean, I think they did a pretty good business this weekend of people buying shoes. But I thought that process was really smooth. Now, let's talk about the drama with the Dopey merch.
Oh, that was an experience.
Okay, so let me just say, I think it's a great idea. I think that only Dopey participants should be permitted to buy Dopey merchandise. I do like the philosophy around that. I like that it's not a bunch of resellers coming in there to grab the stuff. However, I think that it was the crowds were insane. And I think most of the people there that first day and those first couple hours were Dopey participants. So how long did you guys wait in line, Allie?
I think it was over an hour. We spent way much more time there than we would have liked to. We ended up going back later to get our shirts because we couldn't stay any longer. Because Baby O had a haircut on Main Street at like 1:40. So we left there probably close to like 1:15. So if we got there when they opened, so that was a long time.
Right. So I didn't even look because I wasn't running Dopey. And Tim's not a merch guy. So did you have to stand through the queue and then see all the merchandise?
Yeah. So I ended up leaving Rick online and walking around because Baby O was just not having the waiting online. And then I was actually able to see it. I kind of like walked around and looked, and I was like snapping pictures and zooming in to show them like what we were actually waiting for because you couldn't see anything. They had two sides set up. So like they were calling and working from both sides, and you were able to like try stuff on, which is I think what was taking a lot of time because people were trying stuff on, handing it back, getting a new size.
Right.
But you couldn't see anything until you literally got up to the table.
Got it. Yeah, that. I hope that they figure out some way to streamline that. I don't know what it is. That's not my issue or my problem.
Yeah,
but
it's also weird too. Like they checked our ID and bib twice. So like I guess if you like tried cutting in line at once, box, I just joined the line randomly because like Rick was waiting in line. And then like right before you got up to the table, they checked it again. But the problem is like they didn't write anything down. So like what stops me from like giving something to somebody else? It's not like they were like super checking. It was just matching name to bib number, not necessarily like name, face, and picture type thing. So that was weird. I almost wonder if it would be better to do that check at like a checkout, because then again, like the same thing, they didn't check me when I did my mobile checkout. So like I could have handed that off to anybody and they could have bought it. So it's kind of like definitely some flaws in it. They also put us in the smallest space of the expo. So it zigzagged and you were cutting into where like all the other shopping was. So there wasn't even like any space. You were between the checkout and the mobile checkout and then everything. It was just in a really weird spot.
Yeah.
But we ended up just buying stuff because we're like, we waited this long, and I got something for a friend who had a way later number, and she really wanted the sweatshirt. That ended up, the sizes ended up being sold out as we were leaving in the afternoon. So we were able to help her out since she was also running Dopey, but it was definitely kind of just chaotic. And
I like the philosophy of it. I think they'll, just like everything, when they do something new, they need to figure out some of the like, okay, next time we're going to do it this way. I think it will get better every time. But again, I do appreciate that they were trying to keep Dopey merch.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely nice.
Hey, did your Allison get any Dopey merch? Because
she got a like that oversized sweatshirt, but they ran out of small, so she had to go a size up. And so she wasn't excited about that, how quickly they sold out. We were group 2 to get in. Like that was our group, and they had sold out by the time we got to the Dopey counter. I agree with you guys. It's great that they kind of cordoned that off and said, look, if you're a Dopey runner, you get Dopey merch, and we're not going to let other people come in here and take it from you. But I do also agree that they have to find another way to, like, they have to improve on what they did. And everybody keeps saying pre-order. You register for Dopey. Run Disney knows you're registered for Dopey. You should be able to pre-order some of this stuff and maybe go to a booth or something and pick it up. And at that point, you could try it on. And if it's not the fit you like, you could return it right there at the expo. I don't know. There has to be another angle to this somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, especially because they sell out so frequently that if you did that pre-order, it's guaranteed sales. So it's not like, oh, well, now we have this backlog if they order more and like kind of thing. We've kind of been into the punny like race shirt. So that's kind of what we spend ours. Like, I don't know if the Dopey one had to be behind that counter because it's just kind of more just like a fun play on the different race type of thing versus like that sweatshirt or something. But we also thought there would be more dopey merch. Like I felt like all of the other stuff, like Marathon had a zip up, and then like an I did it, and this I just felt like dopey kind of was just like it was very underwhelming for like the level of what you're doing to earn a dopey. That I feel like the merch should have kind of highlighted that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2023, I did not buy a jacket. Kind of like I didn't want to buy it. That was my first dopey. I didn't want to buy a jacket before I had stepped foot on the course, and kind of a jinx thing. But then after I was done, I regretted not having a jacket, and so I was looking forward to buying a jacket this year, and no dopey jacket.
Yeah, Rick ended up buying the Goofy jacket because it was like a nice zip up, and like while he was in line, I was grabbing every zip up jacket I could find and handing it to him in line, being like, "Do you like this? Do you like this?" So he ended up getting the Goofy one because that was like the nicest one that we found.
Yeah, I thought the Marathon jackets were really cute this year. I liked the solid print down the center of the back. I thought that was really clever. I liked the theme this year. I loved last year's theme with the pennants. I just thought they knocked it out of the park last year. I loved it. And I love books, and I think they could have done a lot with the theme this year. I was a little disappointed with I was super disappointed with the race shirts. I think the logos are gigantic on them, like the print. I think they're not very creative. They're just all one big block, where I think in other years they've been a lot more interesting. So I think
even more theme based or something, like kind of stick with that instead of like, we know it's based off a story. So like instead of putting them on a book, like make it like some type of story or something.
Yeah. I was have to say I was disappointed in the shirts. I liked the colors of them this year, the colors of the shirts. So
yes.
Not that,
and I like the material of the Brooks opposed to the older ones. I just thought it was a little bit more comfortable in.
Yeah, they were small. I felt like they fit smaller though. So for people who are doing races in the future, I felt like the fit. I get the women's shirts, and I feel like they were small.
I switched to the men to not get the V-neck, and I find them a lot more comfortable. So I've actually switched fully to the men's shirts. I think like 2 races ago.
Yeah, I like the V-necks person, but anyway, Dave. Did you get through the expo? Any highlights from the expo other than shopping or the line?
I mean, I imagine we're going to get to it, so I'll get to it now. I thought the expo was kind of a mess. The number of buildings you had to walk through, they sent you all the way out and around several of the fields at Wide World of Sports to walk into another building to get your shirts, and the shirts were in the same building as the expo. And there wasn't a lot of space for lines for the shirts. And I don't remember that back in 23 when I was down there. I think that you got your shirts, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think you got your shirts when you got your bibs.
I thought so too. The first one we did, but I think the last couple it's been I
think they're trying to get people to get through the expo because they want people to see the vendors. Those vendors have to make their money. So if you have to go to the vendor building to get your shirts, you're forced to walk through there. That's my guess. We
did find it a lot more enjoyable. So we got our dopey merch and we left the expo, and we came back later at night, like closer to dinner time, to get our shirts. And it was so much more pleasant. We didn't wait in line for our shirts. We just walked right up. And then we did walk around through. My sister and Rick walked around like the expo piece a little bit while I tried to go talk to running relations about getting my bib changed, which they were not very friendly. So I got off the line. But we were able to get like our pictures with the numbers without having to wait in terribly long lines. So like if you can go later for that type of stuff, it's a lot more relaxed and just less people.
Yeah, I've gone back a different day before to do photos and stuff, and that is definitely the way to do it if you can manage it. Like I said, I always say I'm going to go to the expo later in the day, and somehow I always get roped in.
I think it's like the excitement of just like, gotta be the first one. What if there's that one thing this year? And it's just like,
right. And again, I don't buy very much merch. Like I buy more at Wine and Dine because I'll buy like wine glasses, or I'll buy, I don't know. I don't buy a lot at Marathon Weekend because we do get 6 shirts or whatever. If you're running a race, you get an A shirt, and they're all long sleeves, and I don't need any more long sleeve shirts. So I just thought the expo was chaos as it always is. You're like Dave said, you're looping around and walking around inside, outside, coming in, coming out. I am going to take my own advice one of these days and go late. I'm going to. I promise. I promise I am.
Well, I guess we could have done that this year had we known, right? Because I wanted to go early to get a Dopey jacket. You get there's no Dopey jacket. I'm like, I didn't need to be there this early.
I know. Yeah. Who knew? So we all left the expo then, and I know that we went and dropped all of our stuff back at our resort. Dave, did you guys do the same?
Yeah, we did. We dropped everything back, and then we headed over to Magic Kingdom.
And then Allie, what did you guys? You had your haircut.
Yeah, we had Baby O's first Disney haircut, not first haircut, but we did do the first haircut package. Super reasonably priced, where I think when I take him in March for my spring break trip, I might just get him another haircut just because it costs the same there that it does up here. So why not make it magical? But they put him in the seat, handed him his little light up lion thing, and he sat still and just let the lady do her thing. And it was really cute and fun. And we had a good time. And then we got like a little certificate. He got a little hat, and they gave us like a little piece of his hair and a little thing with a Mickey sticker. So
cute.
Keepsake. It's only like the third time I've had it canceled.
I know you get a haircut earlier.
Yeah. I almost canceled it too. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to keep it. And it ended up working out really well.
All right. We also went back to Magic Kingdom because our friend Ashley got, at least my group, I know we all were there at the same time, but Ashley got us a Beacon Barrel reservation. So that was my first time to Beacon Barrel. Have you guys ever been there before?
Yeah, we went in October.
That was our first time.
Okay. So Dave, you were seated where? At the bar?
Standing at the bar, yes.
Okay. So you had the whole show and the whole hoopla.
Yeah, it was right there.
Yeah, right in front of you. Yeah. Allie, where were you guys? You were in
the big center table right behind the bar. So like that's exactly where we sat the first time too, where you can kind of see a little bit of everything. It's like right in the middle of everything.
Okay. So we were in that main room also, the front room closest to the bar, but we were in a booth and I was in the farthest point of the booth. So I couldn't see anything. So kind of the second time around, I got out and stood up and looked at everything. It is, everyone has told you they time you and we actually set our stopwatch. It was 43 minutes and 44 seconds. They were like, okay, time to get out. Like they're not kidding about that 45-minute window. I mean, they want you in and out of there. So Tim and Caleb each got something to eat there. They got the chicken, not an empanada. Oh shoot. Now I don't remember what it was. It was a corn cake maybe with some chicken.
Yeah. Rick got the same thing. He got that last time too.
It was really good. I took a bite of it. It was quite delicious. So I thought it was fun. I like that families could be in there. I like the atmosphere. I thought everything was neat in there. It is a rushed experience. You're not going to linger. So Dave, what did you think?
I thought there was going to be more interaction like with the cast members as in the pirate theme and not just the parrot that kind of hangs out at the top of the bar. Well, way up by the ceiling there.
I think it's been on the waiter because our first time, our waiter crushed the puns and everything and was very just like, here's your seawater. It was very piratey, where I didn't really get that from the one that we had the second time. I left early because Baby O wasn't having it, so we decided to go for a walk. But I think our first experience, I think even Rick said, was a little bit better than this past one.
Yeah. I had great company. My table was awesome and my friends were awesome, but it was a little rushed. So, and then our group left and went over to Tron. We all booked individual lightning lane for Tron, which was awesome. So we had an entire full train of our friends loaded from first car to last car in Tron. And that was pretty cool. Like, that's really cool to be like, I know every single person on this train. That was Sarah and her parents and us and Dave and Eric and Caleb.
Rick was on that.
And yeah, Rick was there and Caleb's family, Dave's family. Like it was really cool. Ashley was with us. It was just fun to be like in a big group for that. So So that was really cool. I actually got to ride with your wife, Dave.
Yeah.
Although I made the mistake, I should have taken the closer seat because I walked to the farther street seat and I had to like lift my bad leg up and over. Had I gone to the closer seat, I didn't have to do that. That was a mistake on my part. But now I know that I should not take the far seat with my bad leg. But that was fun. It was fun to ride Tron, and then I
We
think
did the People Mover.
we did People Mover. It took a long time. Oh, we were on People Mover. How many times did it break down? Three times did it break down when we were on
I
it?
think like 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, we were on People Mover for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Longest. So
I think we may have you beat. When I rode with Tim and Eric and Caleb, that thing broke down, I don't know, probably 6 times.
you were on the same one with
The
us.
same ride? Yeah.
Yeah, you were in the car behind us because we had girl car and we had baby O with us, and then you guys were in I think the car behind us. But yeah, it broke down a lot. I mean, yeah. That was I've never been on it when it breaks down that much, but I guess plenty of time to sit and relax and give everybody's legs a rest, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
We then left. We left Magic Kingdom. We walked. Some of us walked over to the Contemporary to get a bus over to Disney Springs because you can't take a bus from Magic Kingdom or any of the parks to Disney Springs. So you got to get to a resort. So that was easy just to walk over there. We got a bus right away down to the Springs. Dave, you guys did not go to the Springs. You went.
Yeah, I honestly don't recall what we did. I think we went back to the resort and got some food there and just kind of called it an early evening, or at least tried to.
And Allie, what did you guys do?
This is still Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday. We went back to the expo to get our shirts. I don't
Oh,
remember which resort we went to get there, but that's what we did.
Yeah, that was smart. Yeah, so we went to Polite Pig. We had a great experience at Polite Pig. Tim and I shared the like sampler platter, which is always yummy. Brussels sprouts are amazing. I don't know why I always get the sweet potato tots. I think I'm gonna love them so much, and then I always am like, oh, they're okay. And then I got to try a couple bites of Caleb's mac and cheese. I'm like, why did I not get that? That was good.
Oh, maybe you'll like their mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's good. So we weren't there very long. Caitlin went to Gideon's part of the we did not stay out very late. We kind of ate and bolted out of there because the next day was going to be our first bright and early day. So yeah, that was the end of our Wednesday night. Anybody else have any highlights from Wednesday?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thursday, January 8th is 5K day. All right. So very first race. Everybody feeling ready. How was the temperature that day?
I mean, it was pretty warm, a little humid.
Just a little humid. It was a little sticky out there. It was toasty. All those throwaway clothes, didn't need them. Mylar blankets, didn't need them. Hat and gloves, didn't need them. Last
We
year
actually overnighted hats and gloves because Ricky was like, "Oh, we forgot to order these," and then I like got them all, washed them all, packed them. I think I wore my gloves the first morning just because I had them, and it was like it started off chilly, and then it like wasn't anymore. But I'm like, well,
yeah,
it happens.
now you've got them. So what did you guys think of the 5K course? So in all fairness, Tim and I started in Corral B, and I wanted that cushion because I was worried about walking and what pace I would be able to keep up for 3 miles. I just, it was not that I was planning on running, but I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of space. I was there with Cheryl and our friend Michelle. So that was nice. And oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name and I'm so sorry. Craig, forgive me. I cannot remember your wife's name. Anyway, we also had another friend with us and I'm just blanking right now. So nice start. Like we just walked the whole thing. I did jog slightly for PhotoPass for photographers, but not a lot. I really shouldn't probably have done even that, but it was kind of fun to fake it. So how was your 5K race?
I like the company and the course, but The 5K was probably my worst day. I was kind of just like over it from the beginning. I get so frustrated. Like we all started in the back, which was fine because that's what like a group was, and I love running as a group. But like stopping for the characters is next to impossible. So it kind of just takes away from some of that experience. So I was kind of over the 5K, and I was almost like done with Dopey after the 5K because I was just like the extra early morning wake up. Like I just want to do it as a training run and just kind of run through it. We ended up running ahead a little bit to try and get in some lines to kind of help the group. Just to kind of get moving and kind of just get it over with. But the 5Ks to me now are just getting to the point where it's just like, they're just not enjoyable. There's just too many people and they're adding more bibs apparently for next year, Rick saw.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more like family. But again, I think having the company of the Ducks and kind of doing the theming with it is what makes me want to get up and do it again. Versus like if I didn't have that, I'd probably just treat it as a training run and just run straight through and finish in my like 35 minutes and just call it a day and go back to bed.
So the characters for the 5K were Moon Girl, Star-Lord and Gamora, Buzz, Gantu, and Hammers.
Easy for you
or something.
Yeah, Jumbo and Pleakley, and Daisy was at the finish line. Did you guys stop for any of those characters?
Can we talk about the line for Buzz and how it was like 2 countries back and wrapped around America?
Get it. Like I know the theme for the 5K was like out of the world. And let me tell you, the costumes for the 5K, whoa, do people absolutely knock it out of the, I mean, they were incredible. We saw so many space suits and astronaut hats, and our friend Neil was the bubble one, Mickey bubble one with the bubbles coming out of the back. Like people had incredible. I got a shout out to Joe and Laura and Amy, who were the 3Ds from the Muppets 3D pre-show, because you know me and Muppets, like that was awesome. Well, actually, Joe was Max because you know Deborah, was it Deborah who got sick? Diana, one of them got sick. So anyway, I loved it. I thought the costumes, everybody's always amazing for the 5K because you can really be fun for the 5K. We wore our Ducks jerseys, Mighty Ducks jerseys. That's kind of our thing that we do most years. So not too creative, but it was fine. So what characters did you guys stop for? Any?
For Moon Girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think there was no line because nobody knew who she was.
Right.
We were kind of like...
I still don't know who she is. I guess she's some kind of Marvel character, but
no. Okay.
I feel like we stopped for. None of my 5K pictures are on here. I clearly didn't save them. What was the list again?
Oh, I just moved it. Sorry. We stopped for Star-Lord. We stopped for Pleakley. We stopped for.
I think the lines for those were a tad.
Well, you guys were with us for Pleakley, so
yeah, but we missed. I think the hamster guy was out when we passed, but his line was pretty long. The other Star Wars one, I think, had a decently long line, and we kind of just like kept going. I don't think we stopped for many for the 5K.
No, I think maybe just the 2.
We definitely didn't stop for Buzz. That line was insane. Absolutely.
Well, I think I went to get in line. Then the one cast member was like, he's at the in front of the Regal Eagle, and I'm like, we're in Italy. Like, what do you mean? So I was just like, yeah, no, and we kept going.
Yeah. The nice thing about the 5K this year, and I don't know how this happened, but we all finished in time to finish our photos, have super fun with our baby duck there, which was awesome. So thank you, Allie, for doing that. And we all had time to shower before breakfast. Yeah. So I don't know why or how that happened. Like normally I feel like we don't have time to shower, and we're maybe because we always are just in the Epcot area and we're like, oh, why go back if we're coming right back? But because we had breakfast this year at Kona, I don't know. We had time to shower. It was kind of nice. So any other highlights from the 5K other than
I think just finishing that flying V. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I didn't think our photos turned out as good for the flying V. But anyway, what?
Yeah, we got a lot of compliments though, like as we tend to get when we all wear that jersey together.
Yeah.
My Dopey challenge almost went out the window right
Yes,
away.
Dave, why don't you tell your story?
Oh, I
Uh,
forgot about
I have not, because the memes that have been coming back and forth with poor Dave. Dave, why don't you tell your story?
Let's just say cones are not my friend. We were about a quarter mile, I guess. We had just made the turn out of the starting chute and turned right, and we were a little bit down that road, and there was a big cartoon playing on a big screen, and I was just looking around, looking at that cartoon, walking right in the middle of the running path, and apparently there was a cone there, and I did not see this cone, and I walked right into it and tumbled like shoulder into the ground, scraped up my hand, my left knee, hurt my shoulder. I don't even remember who helped me up. Maybe it was Lonnie.
Yeah, it was one of those. And the cone was there because there was a hole in the concrete. So the cone did have a purpose.
I've never seen like that. Just seems we ran 48.4 more miles this whole weekend, and there was no cone in the middle of the running path.
There was actually. I almost saw somebody else hit one, but it was blocking something. So
I remember our first year we did it over. I think it was coming into Magic or exiting Magic. They have the really big posts. I watched a girl run square into one of those.
Oh,
yeah, and that made a sound. So I guess better a cone, but you did fall very gracefully, and it's funny because you're okay. But it was.
Yeah, it felt
It was
like
definitely super early. We're definitely like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
But I made it.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry that we actually did see. No, that must have been the second day. Anyway, so yeah, that was the first day we saw someone. No, that was the second day because it was Agent P was out. But anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so 5K day. We all got showers, and then we all met at Kona, and we had quite a group at Kona. I think there were like 40 people at Kona for breakfast.
Yeah.
I thought the food was okay. Tim got the Tonga toast, which is yummy, and I just got the all-American breakfast. Our server was great. He was really, really, really good. He was on top of it. How was your all experience?
It was good. I just got Baby O the pancakes, which came with a big pancake and 2 mini pancakes for the ears, which was honestly a big enough breakfast that I just ate most of his, and then it came with fruit. And I want to say yogurt as well. So he kind of had like a full meal, so I just kind of ate off of his.
Because I got to have some pancakes.
Yeah,
throughout the morning.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. So I thought it was good. I think our server was also pretty good. She kind of went ahead and was like, do you want me to bring his stuff out a while first or something? And it like came out pretty quick to kind of keep him entertained and fed. Dave, how was yours?
It was good. Tonga toast for breakfast is always a good thing. And sat with some lizards I had never met until that morning. So that was very nice, and had some great conversation. And it was a very nice breakfast.
That's awesome. I always like when you get to meet with new people. We left there and went to Epcot. I guess we went straight to Epcot. I don't remember taking the monorail there, but we must have.
That's how we got there.
Okay, well, I'm going to guess that's what we did. For some reason, I'm blanking on what we did or how we got there, but that's my guess is what we did. Oh, I know we took the monorail because we saw Jackie on the monorail. I'm positive we took the monorail. So we went over, saw our friend Jackie on the monorail. That was a lot of fun. Then we went to Epcot. Epcot was awesome. I feel like we did something else in between there that I just cannot remember. But we did ride Guardians. I know we rode Guardians at 1:00. Dave, do you remember what song we got?
Not off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure we got Disco Inferno.
Oh, yes, that's what we got.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm hoping that's what we got because that's what's in my memory.
Oh, that's what we got.
Sarah will know because Sarah writes them all down. So Sarah, if I'm wrong, correct me. So that was fun. We went back to Geo 82 that night. Oh, we rode Remy. I forgot about this. Allie, we rode Remy. I got to take Baby O on Remy. Were you? No, Rick was in line with us.
Yes, I don't.
Where were you?
Oh, yes, because after I was taking my small nap, he took his small nap, and I had Baby O. I think we like walked the resort a little bit, and then we swapped. so I can get like a small power nap. And then I went back and met him at Epcot.
Yeah, Remy was one of those that it was supposed to not be a long wait, and then it ended up being a long wait. So, Jean, it didn't break down; it just took forever. And so that was my first time seeing Remy in 2D instead of 3D, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think I like the 3D better. I think, yeah, I'm not sure. Have you guys ridden it since it's gone to 2D instead of 3D?
Have
I'm
not.
trying to think. So no glasses?
No glasses.
No, I think the last time I rode it, I was pregnant and it made me very nauseous and it was probably a terrible idea.
Yeah, probably.
My family rode it. They liked it with the 2D. They said it was better. I was still kind of out of whack from the Guardians.
Yeah.
I got a
You
little
were
green.
green after Guardians. You were pulling a Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still not ridden Guardians.
What?
I mean, it's a great ride, but it undeniably will mess with you.
That's I think what I'm worried about.
I was really happy on that Guardians. That Guardians, I had a lot of fun. Like I really, that's the Guardians. Like Caleb messed up the photo. We were all wearing our medals, but Caleb wasn't. And so Tim's like, "I'll hold up my medal," and you point to it. And like Caleb messed the photo up. Like he was like turned too bad. Like let go of the medal. And Tim's like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, I like that song. I think it's a good song for that ride. And so we had a lot of fun. I rode Guardians later in the trip and we had Conga, and that's my least favorite song. And so I was like, I was not happy with that. But I went back to GO82 then that night. I know, Allie, you went up to go see it that night. You didn't stay though, right?
No, but I literally just walked up. Sarah was gracious enough to hang with Baby O and take little Disney with the Duck photos outside the ball. And then Baby O and I went over to Moana and he played in the water and had a grand old time.
I'm sure. I will say something interesting happened to me at GO82. So we get there and, when you're doing reservations for groups like this, you kind of book some and then people move around and you kind of shift. Anyway, I needed to use the restroom and they would not let me go upstairs to use the restroom until my entire party was there. Which I thought was like,
that was really weird.
I guess that makes sense. Like they don't want you like, I don't know, sneaking in or whatever. But I was like, you have my name, you have my information. Like, I promise you, I just want to go to the bathroom, and they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. So, don't go there unless your party's completely all with you if you have to go to the bathroom, because you're going to be waiting. So, but I had a lovely night. I got to sit at a table with Debbie Stevens, who gives the best hugs out of the universe, Molly and Laura. And I felt like it was one of the first times that I got to hang with them all weekend. So we had a really good time and just chatted and hung out. And that was great. And then Tim and I left Epcot and went back to our resort, and we had dinner that night at Three Bridges. And let me just tell you, I love all the food. Like, I love Coronado. I love the food at Coronado, not the quick service, but I love Toledo. I love Barcelona. I love the downstairs lounge, which I can't think of the name of it right now. And I love Three Bridges. And our meal at Three Bridges was phenomenal. We sat right on the water. It was kind of chilly that night. Got to put a sweatshirt on. Our server was good. Like, everything was awesome. I absolutely love eating there. So I had the burger there. I'm still going to stand that. I still think it's the best burger on property. I've never had deluxe burger, so I'm sure that's probably pretty darn good too. Loved it. We split a salad. It was delicious. So the only problem with Three Bridges is they don't take reservations. So you have to be in the area of Coronado to do a walk-up reservation, or you just have to get there and hope that you can walk in. So highly recommend it though, if you've never been.
Yeah, I've never been. I would like to try that. I
think it's great. What did you guys do for dinner that night?
I had resort food again. We were at Epcot and we were trying to knock out some attractions, and it got to a point where I was like, I think it's time to go back.
Yeah.
Try and get to sleep. And so I turned around, and I think my wife and daughter followed on the next bus, and we just had resort again that night.
Got it. What about you, Allie? Anything fun?
I'm trying to think. We ended up going over by the yacht club. They actually had, so fun fact, little ones, not every place sells whole milk. And it's not as easy to find, and you pay almost like price of a gallon of milk if you get it from like any of the coffee shops. So the yacht club actually has it as part of a kids meal, and you can actually mobile order it with the whole milk. So I ended up doing a lot of Baby O's meals over that way, and their sides were a lot better than like what I got at Pop. I can get like the applesauce instead of the 20 million apple slices and Danibles. Kind of got tired of those. So we ended up going over there. And then I think that might have been the night that Rick went over to Raglan Road for dinner with his dad, but I could be wrong.
It's so funny because I think the quick service at Yacht Beach is pretty lacking. So that's interesting that they had a better quick service.
They had a grilled cheese, which
gigantic.
Most places it's like the chicken fingers, mac and cheese, uncrustable. They actually had like almost like a panini grilled cheese. So kind of just mixed it up a little bit. And then they had, I think the sides for the kids' meals are a little bit better.
That's really interesting.
With like the whole milk. So we walked over that way, and then we took little pictures over on the little beach area with little swings and stuff. And
very fun.
Yeah.
Well, we had dinner at Three Bridges, and what's a good thing to do right after we eat? Go to bed. So that's what we did. We were in bed. We were in bed most nights by 8:15. So we went to bed because the next day, Friday, January 9th, was the 10K day. And this was, I'm just going to say this personally for me was kind of a big deal because I had just found out Monday, January 5th, that I was allowed to walk the 5K. So on Monday, I found out I was allowed to, and on Friday, Friday, I got to walk it. So I was pretty excited. That was the longest I've walked yet. I've walked the dog a lot. I've walked that many miles, but not consecutively. So I was a little nervous, actually, just to see how I was going to feel. But we just kept it easy. We didn't do anything crazy. And Tim walked with me the whole time. We would jog periodically, but not, maybe 15 seconds at a time, nothing wild. So the characters for the 10K that were out were Goofy, Daisy, Agent P, Nick and Jodie, Miguel, Darkwing, Rescue Ranger, Chipmunks, Donald, Louis, Jose, Mira, Maribel, Bruno, and Mickey and Minnie were at the finish line. We stopped. I love Agent P, so we stopped for Agent P. Unfortunately, right before we got to Agent P, we saw a woman trip and fall and land right on her chin, which was really PTSD for me. So there were a lot of people helping her, or else I would have stopped to help. But there were 15 people around her in a nanosecond. I really hope she was okay because that was Agent P was mile 1.75. So that was right before then. And your heart breaks when you see something like that. So how was your 10K? Did you guys stop for anything? Did you see anything?
Yeah, we stopped for a bunch. Rick decided to drop back with us folk in the back because we didn't think we'd get to run the half and the full together. So he was like, I want to cross at least the finish line with you on this one. So he dropped back. Lo and behold, I ended up catching everybody on the half and full, which is really cool. But we didn't think we were going to have that finish line experience. So he dropped back with me. We stopped. We did a selfie with Goofy. We did Agent P and Nick and Jodie. Then we caught Dave and his family with Darkwing Duck. And then we ended up doing Jose towards the end as well. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
Who Mira is or what she's from?
She is a new, I think, Disney Plus TV show.
Okay. We thought maybe she
was
Disney
Junior.
We thought maybe she was from the movie Wish because none of us had seen Wish.
No, that's Asha. She's the one that you see in Epcot with the goat and the long. Asha is a human face character versus like the cartoon.
Got it. We had no clue. So we stopped for Agent P because I love him. I did get to see Molly and Joe and Hannah on the course, so that made my heart happy a little bit. That's the day that Molly had her Joe had the It's Molly sign.
Yeah.
So they were dressed as their favorite characters from Mickey and Minnie's Run. I can never say the name of that ride. Anyway.
Runaway Railroad.
Thank you. So we saw them a couple times on the course, which made me happy. Debbie was out cheering for the course, which always makes me happy. We stopped for Jose too, because Landon loves that. We ran a little bit with our friend Michelle, and she was cute. She was dressed as Clarice from the Chipmunks. So it was fun to see everybody and be out cheering a little bit. And we got to see an unofficial Disney celebrity. We got to see Myra, who's the typically the person from Pop
Yes.
who greets you when you get off the bus, who was not working this year. And so they raised money she did a charity bid for the 5K and 10K. So that was super fun to see her on the race course. So that I was like, oh, we know her. So that was really awesome. So that was my day. What did you guys do?
Well, I mean, Allie kind of summed it up pretty much on the nose there. We did Agent P, Darkwing Duck, and Jose, and a couple of those with you guys, and we finished. My wife and my daughter and I finished together, which was good because we wanted to get a together finish because I knew Ange wasn't going to run the half or the full, so we got a together finish on the 10K, and that was nice.
Awesome.
Rick and I decided to race to see who could finish the 10K first. So we were those lovely jerks that are like sprinting around the final corner. He's hip checking. I did check our official times today, and I won by 0.01 of a tenth of a second. He still doesn't think it's accurate, but they clocked me up, whatever it was, 0.06. He was at 0.07. So I won. But yeah, so we kind of had a little bit of fun, like racing to that. At Jose, my Garmin decided to do an emergency call and ended my run. It did save it, but I didn't restart, so I only did 6.02 miles that day instead of 6.2. And then upgraded my watch later that day at the expo. But, at Disney Springs. The expo was trying to upcharge me a watch I didn't need, so we went over to the Fit Run at the Disney Springs to get a new watch. But yep, so the 10K was a fun one.
It was fun. I really love that course a lot. I like that course a lot. So.
Yeah, that is nice. You get Epcot, you get Boardwalk. That's a good course. It is.
Yeah. So I unfortunately had to do a little bit of work that day after the race. So we were in our room for a bit, and then we rope dropped Baseline Tap House. Once we finally got out of our room, we went to Hollywood Studios. We did not ride a single ride. We just went to Baseline. That was really fun though. We had a whole group of people. Like Dave, you were there. We had, I know, Dipti met us there. We had Cheryl was there. Eric was there. People were popping in and out throughout the day. Like it was just fun to have like Molly and Avery were there at points of time. Like it was. Caitlin fell asleep at the table. She's going to claim she didn't. She did. She was asleep. Like. Dave, you were talking to the table next to us. Like it was just fun. It's just fun to hang out there, and it was a beautiful day. It was a little hot in the sun, but it was a gorgeous day. I would take an afternoon at Baseline Tap House any day of the week.
Yeah, Baseline is always one of the highlights of any Disney trip for us, especially a run Disney trip. I just love kind of just hanging there and like you said, chatting with everybody. And we always have a big group there. It's a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Where did you go that day, Allie?
We went to Animal Kingdom. So we did some character stuff. So we did Dino Chippendale. We rode Dinosaur. And then they had Donald and Daisy together instead of separate over in the Dinoland area. So Baby O did that experience as well. He kind of blew off Daisy and just went right towards Donald, but we're still in the stranger danger. So we kind of get excited and then just like stop and stare. But he did really good. Chippendale did really great with him. And kind of after a few seconds, he kind of just stayed there and was like dancing with them a little bit. It was cute.
That's awesome. But, their characters are fun, but sometimes from a distance.
Yes. Definitely stranger danger.
We then hopped over to Epcot because we had a reservation at Tepanito.
Well, hey, Jodie, I want to jump in real quick. We single rider Rise.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that because
that's an interesting experience. I don't know how much I want to share about what you do and don't experience when you single rider it. You do save a lot of time, but there's a sacrifice. And if you don't mind the sacrifice, it's worth it. But if you want, let me just say, if you want the full experience of Rise of the Resistance, then you don't want to single rider it. But if you want to save some time.
Did you know that you were going to be missing some of the experience?
Yeah. In fact, they tell you as soon as you walk in that line, I guess it's a trial right now, the single rider.
Okay.
They tell you as soon as you walk in, I can't remember exactly what they said, something about your ride will be altered. Something else. They said two things as you're walking through there. Like it'll be different, it'll be altered, something like that, and it's true, it is.
Do you get on just where you enter the ride vehicle? Is that where you start?
How much do you want me to share?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for any of the other people, but I guess.
I mean, should we do like a 3, 2, 1? I'm going to tell you what we did.
Sure. Okay. If anyone doesn't want to hear the spoiler, then I will, press fast forward right now.
Yeah. So you skip the entire first part of the attraction where you ride on the speeder. You enter it from the outside. You don't do that. You actually walk right past that. Is how they usher you in on the single rider line, and then you go into what's marked as a cast member only area, and then you come into the stormtrooper room. So that's your first
stormtrooper room.
Yes, okay. First exposure to the attraction.
Okay, I thought you were going to go later. Like I thought you were just going to go.
That's what I was wondering too. Like if you skip
loading, yeah.
No, you do get the interrogation.
Okay.
And so that all is part of it, but you do miss that first part of the
first story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So how long does the ride then take when you do that then? Because like when you do the whole thing, it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah, it probably I don't want to say saves, but it probably shaves, I don't know, 10 minutes off the attraction, maybe a little more, but it's going to shave a lot more than that off your wait. So if you've ridden it before and are okay with that, then single rider is a good option for you because you do get the bulk of the attraction. But if you've never ridden it, then you definitely don't want your first experience to be a single rider.
Huh.
Well, I'm glad you shared that because I've never done single rider before. So I think that's important for anyone who wants to hear it. So thank you for telling us about it.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it because otherwise I don't think we were going to get on that attraction that day.
Yeah. We rode nothing that day. So we were going to ride Test Track, and I know we got to speed this up. So we were going to ride Test Track because John invited us all to his company's
lounge.
That was really cool. We went up in different groups and got to see it. And then they gave us lightning lanes for Test Track. However, I was really concerned about our reservation at Tepanito because there were 20 of us. We were trying to merge reservations and get sat. And they had told me earlier in the day that wasn't going to happen. And so I was trying to get there early to organize all that. So unfortunately, we ended up not riding, which kind of made me sad because we had that great lightning lane for it. So then we went to Tepanito. We had 2 tables of 20 total people, and it was pretty fun. So that was nice. That was nice to be able to spend time with people. And John and Dee had joined us at that point in time. Obviously, they joined us at Test Track. They stepped in at baseline for a minute or two too. So it was great that they finally made it down for the weekend and got to spend time with them also. So
have you ridden the new version of Test Track?
I did. I rode it 2 weeks prior.
Your thoughts?
I like it more. I think it's better. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty neat. My sister and I ended up doing the lightning lane, and we thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better than the last version for sure.
I agree. Any thoughts on Tepanito, Dave?
I mean, I always love a Japanese steakhouse. And we, as a family, all the trips we've gone to Disney, I probably have gone there for dinner 9 out of 11 times or something like that. So, no, it was good.
Yeah. Allie, what did you guys do for dinner that night?
We went over to Springs, so I ended up going to Blaze Pizza to get myself pizza. And then I forget where Rick ate that night. We have 2 different food tastes. So he goes and does. Actually, I think he went over to the one Italian place, actually. And he did that, I believe.
Nice. Well, yeah. I know, I think our intention was to go ride Test Track after dinner, but at that point in time, it was getting late, and we kind of wanted to skedaddle out of there. So we ended up getting on the bus and heading back. So it was a great evening and great company. Can't complain about a night with friends after you've been at baseline all day.
Hollywood Studios is the one park where we got to get over there, and we never got over there.
Isn't that funny? So that was our Friday. So any other highlights from your Friday?
No, I think that was.
All right. Well, as you can tell, we have talked a ton, and we've only talked about let me try that word again. Expo 5K and 10K. So we're gonna do another show talking about half marathon and full marathon because those are longer races, so a lot more stories to talk about. So thanks, guys, for joining us. It was a pleasure to get to see you both at the races, and I had a lot of fun. But now we have to turn to everybody's favorite time of the day, cracking up with the ducks. So, Dave, you got one for us?
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
What do you call a beehive with no exit?
A beehive with no exit. I don't know. What?
Unbelievable.
Oh, of course. Yes. All right, Allie, your turn.
Okay. What do sprinters eat before a race?
I don't know. What?
Nothing. They fast.
Fast. All right, Dave, this one's for you.
Oh boy.
Guess a cone's job is never over. It's always on standby.
Until I knock it over.
Had to do that one for you. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I know we talked a lot about running, but we talked a lot about our time in the parks and our meals and our fun get together. If you've never done a Run Disney race before, I would encourage you to give it a try. Race registration starts in February 2026 for Wine and Dine. If you have any specific questions, reach out to any of us. I'm sure we'd be happy to answer. But they are special. They're special events and special time with friends, and I mean, can't beat it. Well,
I'm going to tell you, my daughter this was her first marathon and her first Dopey, and we weren't off the plane for longer than a few hours, and she was ready to go again. So we'll see that there could be another one in our future coming up.
Yeah, that's exciting. They are addicting. I should warn you all now, they're addicting. So Thank you, friends, for making my weekend even more special. Getting to spend time with you is definitely the highlight. So I appreciate it. And thanks for joining me tonight to recap first couple of days of Marathon 2026. So with that being said, John would kill me if I didn't say it. So Kwaherini.
Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.